Hello guys, I think it's time to talk about my motovlog setup, especially the cameras and how I use them. Basically, I have I have two Insta360 cameras. They serve two different purposes, and initially I was hoping to use only one, but then I found that using these two as I have them makes more sense, although it's way more work. So I have Insta360 R with a 360 mod up front, and that one is connected to this GPS remote, and this allows me to have GPS data on that footage. So when I reframe it to only show the perspective from the bike, you will have the tilts and the speed and the acceleration, every stuff that's from that camera and this remote. This is a little bit finicky, and I'll talk about later about this. Then we have the helmet mount camera. I have this one because it was cheaper to buy a new camera than buy the module and keep swapping cameras. I found the promotion, and the model was not available here in Portugal individually at the time I bought this, so I just bought a 1-inch Insta360 R. And basically, why do I need the 1-inch? The 4K camera doesn't have a wide enough angle to catch everything here. You will notice that if I switch from this perspective to the bike perspective, the speed seems to increase, and that's because of this camera having such a wide angle lens that it distorts the speed. Everything is in frame a lot of more time, so you don't have the sense of speed that you should have if it was a narrower focus, a narrower angle. So that's the way I capture the front-facing camera with the stats, the self camera. That's the Insta360, that mod with a 360 for both ways. And then you have the helmet camera that has a 1-inch mod that's higher resolution. It has great low light performance, so that's why I have both, and I use both. Can we take it? Okay. So these are the cameras that I use. So how is my edit process? Sadly, everything needs to pass through the Insta360 Studio. For color correction, for stabilization, for reframing, everything needs to pass through there. It's a little bit cumbersome. Basically, I will reprocess footage 3 times. The first time is this process to reframe the 360 footage from two perspectives, and the color correction for that. This one will have a processing of the color only. Then I will treat one of the files from that perspective with a software, the Telemetry Overlay software, to overlay the telemetry from the GPS data in order to have those pretty graphics, and then after that I will process this footage with the audio that I have from the wireless Rode mics to have the two inputs, the input from the helmet and the input that at the moment is in my backpack, that will give you the audio, and that gives us the other thing that these cameras are not really good at. It's the audio. The audio is really blown up. It's random. Sometimes I have a good audio that's enough for some of those raw videos that I show you, but most of the time there's no good audio for me to exploit. So you will most of the time not see me use the raw audio from the Insta360 cameras, and that's because they tend to not be really consistent. They have a processing AI algorithm that will try to reduce noise, but they will blow the audio all over the place. So my flow, I will process from the Insta360 Studio all files. I will process the audio in DaVinci Resolve, and then after that I will create a new project in DaVinci Resolve and edit that footage with a multicam feature. And I will select the best perspective for every given time. But that's it. If I recommend using Insta360 for motovlogging, yes and no. First of all, if you just want to motovlog, you will be better served with a GoPro with a media adapter and just pass a mic into the helmet. It's easier. The footage will be ready to go as soon as it leaves the GoPro. You don't need to do anything else. You may spruce it up a little bit, but it's way easier to edit. If you want to have a selfie perspective, remember that you need to sync the cameras. So you will need to develop some kind of methodology to do that. The easiest way is just to clap your hands and say 1, 2, 3, and basically that will give you an audio spike and a visual cue to sync everything in. That's the way I use it, and sometimes you may notice something out of a line, and that's to the second point I will make from the Insta360 camera. So this camera on my helmet will record files with 60 minutes. That camera with the 360 mode will record clips that are 30 minutes. You see where I'm going with this? Whenever that camera switches to a new file, it will stop recording, and that will fuck this. I swear to God, people will do the dumbest shit. Okay, that's another short. Basically, what will happen? You will have a few minutes of out of sync video that you will need to try to align later with the footage from this camera. That's not really good. There's no good way to do that. I haven't found a way to really sync it correctly because the timestamps of the cameras don't match, and I have no way of knowing when that camera switched file, because it sometimes will flash at me and show it, but sometimes I'm not looking at it. I'm looking at the road and driving and riding. I'm not really paying attention to the camera. I just hope it works. So sometimes I will have footage that I need to then adjust the perspective later in order to sync the video. So that's it. That's my main complaints with the Insta360. But back to my recommendation: simple motovlog, just a GoPro with the media adapter and a microphone into the helmet. That's it. You don't need anything else. You can vlog and be okay. If you want to do multiple perspective, you can opt for this type of camera. This is modular, so you can switch it up for whatever reason you need, or you can get the X3 at the moment. It's only 360 camera, and it's a vertical. It's a preference thing. I like this one's better. I think this format is better overall. It allows for a more slimline, a lower profile camera mount, and since it's 360 video, you basically can reframe it to whatever you want. So you mount the camera wherever you please, and you will have something later. This camera will not show the little arm that it's on, because it sits on the stitching line of the 360 video. So my 2 cents: if you want to have multiple perspectives and the ability to mount this camera whenever you want, you will need another camera. But for starting to motovlog, you don't need anything else besides a GoPro and a mic. I was hoping to get the mic adapter for my camera and try to pass the audio from the Rode mics directly, but unfortunately Insta360 discontinued the old mic adapter. The new One RS will allow you to charge it and also use the mic adapter, so you can basically do the same thing as you do with the GoPro with the One RS. So if you are looking for a better low light performance, I think the 1-inch sensor still beats the GoPro. But your mileage may vary, and it certainly is not easier to edit with the Insta360. If you do multiple content and you want to be able to edit on your phone, then Insta360 has the best way to do that. They have a mobile app for editing, and that's especially powerful for 360 video because it allows you to use the phone as a viewfinder, and you basically reframe the shot as you go, and also has a lot of interesting effects that you can use with 360 footage. But that's it for 360 footage. If you are not interested in 360 footage, I still recommend you go with the GoPro. That's it, guys. That's my 2 cents on my motovlog setup. And if it was today, I would probably have a mix of cameras, and I would also be miserable because it should not mix and match cameras. Because batteries are not compatible, stuff like that. At the moment I have batteries that are compatible with both. The chargers are compatible with both. These batteries actually work on the new model of the Insta360, so that's another point in their favor. And that's it. I'm happy with my setup, but it's a little bit cumbersome in the editing side, more flexible though. And I will give you guys a plate in a year or two if it's still my preferred setup, or if I surrendered and went with the ease of use for vlogging with the GoPro. Thank you for watching. See ya.